Now, as Courtney was describing emotion, she could have been talking about gas prices lately after forecasts suggested the price of gas would jump this week and again next week. Well, they took a turn in another direction, down 3 cents overnight and maybe another 4 tonight. Dan McTeague is the president of Canadians for Affordable Energy, and he's bringing his crystal ball to the CP24 airwaves this morning. Hope you're shining it up. I'd love to see that crystal ball tell us we're going to pay less, but that seems unlikely, Dan. But let's talk about these prices rising this week, then going in another direction. What are we looking at? What happened to potentially, $2.05 a litre by the end of this week?
Yeah, it may still happen. In fact, we're going to see a 4-cent decrease tomorrow. But markets this morning, I think, are realizing, there's still a shortage of oil, diesel, gasoline, and you can only carry the concern about the U.S. Fed raising interest rates 3/4 of a base or 75 basis points for so long. You can only use the excuse of, possibly a global recession for so long before reality starts to really come back into focus. So, Nick, what we're looking at, we saw a 3-cent decrease today. We're going to see a 4-cent decrease tomorrow. But come Friday, we're going to be looking at possibly another 3-cent increase, unless markets do a complete reversal. That's because the Department of Energy, U.S. Department of Energy's weekly petroleum report is going to come out and demonstrate to everybody that despite all the gloomy news, despite all the concerns that are out there, at the end of the day, we have a serious energy crisis globally, and of course it means a shortage of supply. That has to be met. It'll be met with higher prices, like it or not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some serious whiplash when it comes to, as you drive past, like, wait a second, it's this now? I thought it was going to be here, and oh my gosh, how much more is it going to cost me? The one thing I think a lot of people find interesting, Dan, just from conversations I have daily, because a lot of people, it's like the weather, right? Yep. We love to complain about the weather, we'll complain about gas prices too, is that there always seems to be, and you kind of alluded to this, there always seems to be an excuse why the prices go up so much, but then they never seem to come down that much. And then you take a look at the profitability of some of these, major oil and gas companies, and people say, we're really taking it, that we're really sort of feeling it, in a way we don't like. How do you sort of square that circle?
Hard to do that, but understand that when you have 10 years of disinvestment in oil and gas, and suddenly the world realizes it needs more, then that gap has to be filled. It's not being filled by OPEC. It's not being helped, of course, by the war in Russia, the Ukraine, and it's certainly not being helped by a weaker Canadian dollar, because we're not able to get, as the third largest supplier, or the third largest provable reserves of oil in the world, we're not able to get our products to market. For Canadians, understand this, we're part of the solution. We could have been. Given the amount of oil that we have, given that the alternatives are the Venezuelas, the Irans, and the Russias, Canada could and should have been in that position to do something, but it can't. And as a result, our Canadian dollar is weak. And of course, we're now price takers on whatever kind of disruptions take place internationally.
Okay, Dan, only got a few seconds left. Is there any good news? Is there any reason to believe that once we get past the May long weekend, the prices may come down anytime soon? Or is this something that we should be getting used to? We know we got the conversion to summer gas coming up soon. Or are we just going to be, paying pretty much through the nose, it seems, for the foreseeable future?
Nick, that's it. This is about as good as it's going to get today and tomorrow. Take advantage of it tomorrow, because it's not going to get any better going forward.
Well, that is one way to put it. Dan McTeague, Canadians for Affordable Energy. Appreciate the time and insight, even though it may be something we don't want to hear. But that's the reality. Thanks, Dan.